bestie, we really got to talk about your work ethic, okay? Like, it's a problem. You see, the problem is, you and I both know you have the skills, you have the knowledge, you probably even have the ideas. So the question is, why is nothing materializing? Is it a lack of motivation? Is the discipline not quite developed yet? I don't know what it is. All I do know is I'm sat right now to snap you the F out of it, because 2025 is right around the corner and I am not here allowing you to go through another year doing the same old shit. Listen, I get it. I've been there hundreds of times, knowing I have a huge to-do list, knowing I have so many tasks in front of me, most of which I know I can do, right? I know if I just put my head down for a few hours, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna feel so much more relieved afterwards. I'm gonna get to spend all of my time doing things I actually want to do. And yeah, I just stare at them and feel stuck and refuse to actually get on with it, which just elongates the amount of stress and worry I have to experience on a daily basis. It is a vicious cycle. So if you're sitting there right now getting ready for work, maybe you're about to go to an interview, maybe you're preparing yourself to study, watch this first. I'm going to talk you through it, and I promise you're going to feel so much more determined and so much better at the end of it. And quickly, right before we get into it, be sure to check out all of my links below in the description, because if there's anybody that can tell you about motivation and hard work, it's me, okay? And if you don't believe me, you can just check all of the effing links in my description to show you all of the things I balance and all of the things I do all at once, which every piece of advice I'm about to give you in this video is kind of showcases that, because it's all of these lessons that I've learned that allows me to have a podcast, post daily on my socials, have 3 YouTube channels, have launched a self-help newsletter, and I am now launching a business, all of which you can check out below. And lastly, I want to give a big shout out to my favorite platform, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video. I love Squarespace and everything they stand for. If anything, they stand for pushing you to be your most successful self without doing all of the hard work that no one wants to do, which basically prevents you from getting anywhere in the business you want to start, the website you want to set up, because Squarespace is out here making the whole thing easier for you. It doesn't matter if you've just gotten the idea for your business or if you're 10 years into being an entrepreneur, Squarespace has all of the tools you will ever need to be able to stand out and make a success of yourself online. Let's start with the fact that you can literally sell content on Squarespace, and that's because Squarespace has all of the systems in place to enable you to be able to sell your content with a paywall behind it, so you can get monetized for the things that you're literally already doing, be it social media or anywhere else. But I think the best part about Squarespace is their visual design tools. So much of the time, the reason we procrastinate, the reason we're staring at a computer screen and we're dreading the task and we can't get on with it, is because of the resistance that stands between us and the task. Because of Squarespace's wide array of tools, one of which being their design tools, this eliminates all of that resistance, because then you're like, oh, all I actually have to do is open my laptop, choose what colors I want, what I want to be where. I don't have to worry anything about the complex parts, the admin, learning how to code. No, I just click a few buttons, decide what I want it to look like, and boom, you've got a professional website without ever having learned it before. On top of that, we already know the power that AI technology holds, and Squarespace is very much aware of this, so they have integrated this into their platform to be able to make your website bigger and better than ever. Basically, design intelligence empowers anyone to be able to build an even more beautiful website that is specifically tailored to their unique business needs and brand identity. So if you're ready to get even more work done easier than ever, I highly recommend you go and check out Squarespace. You can sign up for a free trial, and whenever you're ready to launch your new business, your new website, come back to this video and click my URL. It's squarespace.com/tamkaur, and that will get you 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Okay, step number 1, why are you waiting? What are we waiting for exactly? I know with me, I would wait around all the time. I was trying to delay tasks. I was trying to put things off. I didn't want to start because I was trying to avoid feeling uncomfortable about myself. I was trying to avoid bringing down my self-esteem lower than it already was. I didn't want to face the negativity or the fear that maybe I'll fail, maybe I'll trip over, maybe in doing this task, I will show myself that I'm not as smart as I hoped I was. Maybe if I do that interview and I don't get the job, it will hurt me so much and break down my confidence so much. I don't want to do that. So I'm simply just not going to apply. I'm simply just going to keep waiting until I feel like I'm the right person with the right skill set and the right things in place. BS. Because in the time that you were waiting to do the thing, somebody else had your idea, researched it, executed it, and shared it with the world. And you're still out here waiting. Waiting for what exactly? And that's the thing, because that person over there that executed your exact same idea in the time that it took you just to think whether you could do it or not, they weren't ready either. They just simply decided it is better to start now rather than later. Because it's by starting before you're ready, it's by making those mistakes, which it teaches you all of the skills, all of the knowledge, and gives you all of the valuable experience that makes you feel more prepared to take the next step. We are waiting around, and I'm super guilty of this, putting off tasks, waiting until we feel ready, but you can't feel confident in your abilities and you can't feel ready until you've started doing things that are outside of your comfort zone and outside of your skill set, which proves to you just how amazing you are, because I promise you, you've already got it within you, okay? So first of all, let's cut the crap on why you are not the right person in the right place of where you need to be. You've already got it. All you need to do now is take the step forward. And this leads me on to step number 2, which is everything you touch turns to gold. How do I know this? Because you've done it before, and so you'll do it again. Any single time you have fully immersed yourself in an idea, in a project, you've gotten your head down, you've put in the work, didn't it amount to everything you ever thought it would be? Exactly. Why? Because you are capable. The way you had all of your small wins at school or work or in your personal life just goes to show the type of person you are and the range of abilities you have. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So I'm not quite sure why we got confused here in thinking that you're gonna fail at this thing when, given your track record, you're pretty effing amazing and talented and smart. Can we start recognizing that? And even if it feels hard right now, and even if it's not perfect, just you taking that first step forward puts you miles ahead of 90% of people on this planet who are, like I said before, in the waiting period, waiting to feel like they earn it or they deserve it. If you are just delusional in yourself and of course I can, or you can so clearly visualize exactly who you're going to be, what you're going to have, where you're going to be, how you're going to live, and you associate yourself with that idea rather than the idea of yourself with all of your doubts and all of your limiting beliefs, you're going to get so much further than everybody else. Plus, that one little action, that one little step forward can create this ripple effect. And before you know it, you are in this amazing flow of work where you are just fearless and confident in every single thing you do and every single step you take. A lot of the time, when I used to procrastinate and I didn't want to do my schoolwork or just even do any sort of productive task where I had to be typing and working, I would delay just the process of starting so often. In the few occasions where I forced myself to start, even though I didn't feel ready, and even though I didn't feel prepared, it took those first 2-3 minutes and I was in a flow. And then all of a sudden I found myself working easily and seamlessly for 3 hours. If that doesn't go to show how amazing and how proud you should be of yourself for just taking the first step, I don't know what will, because it's taking that first step that will lead you to your 100th step, which is exactly where you achieve all of your dreams and all of the success I know you can get. And this leads me on to step number 3, which is I need you to understand whatever you are hoping for right now while you're watching this video. Maybe it's getting the job, maybe it's having a good interview, maybe it's passing the exam, maybe it's setting up the business. Whatever you desire, it's already yours. And I need you to move through every day with that confidence, with that assurance that you know that that is the truth about you and your life. Because the truth of the matter is, you wouldn't have the idea and you wouldn't have the desire for what you want if there wasn't a future version of yourself already having that thing and living that reality. All that's in the way is time, okay? It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. You are always going to get the thing. That is why you so desperately desire it and want it. That is why it's all your mind can think about. It's all you can visualize in your mind. It feels like the one missing key in your life. I want to work this hard. I want to achieve this. I want to have this promotion. Whatever it is, it's already yours. And I need you to start acting like it. All of this, I don't know if I can do this. Am I smart enough? But what if other people are doing better than me? Literally irrelevant. How are any of those thoughts going to get you closer to your dream life? In fact, all of those thoughts are so unbearably true, you are just shooting yourself in the foot. Because the truth is, you can do anything you put your mind to. You are so much more capable than what you give yourself credit for. And it's really, really sad. It's a sad truth for people everywhere because humans have a tendency to hyperfixate on all of the things that didn't go right. And because we're so busy dwelling on our regrets and what we feel guilty about and what didn't quite work or what we have to be ashamed of, we blow that up. And because it's all we're seeing and thinking about in our mind, we think that that is the truth of our lives and the truth of ourselves and our abilities. Whole time, all of those little mistakes make up 5% of the pie that is our life. There are so many examples and so many instances of times that you have won, times that you have gone further than you ever thought you would. Can we please start paying attention to that? Because I promise you, the second that you do, you are going to understand how many times you've actually been winning in your life and you didn't even realize. Step number 4 is my personal favorite and something that I remind myself of all of the time, which motivates me like no other, which is imagine where you would be if you started now rather than later. I'm talking, okay, maybe you have like a vision for where you want to be in a year's time. What if you achieved all of that in like 3 months? I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying let's play with the idea a little bit. There is nothing more motivating than that. And I can honestly say I've had those experiences now where I fill my vision board up with pictures and now I'm like, what am I even looking at anymore? I've done everything on the list. And we are all capable of doing that. I want you to look at your vision board every single day and be like, I'm literally going to run out of pictures to look at soon because there's so much abundance coming to me all of the time. I literally get anything I put my mind to and anything I wish for. I think there's so much power in kind of trying to reduce the timeline that you set yourself to set goals. That doesn't mean that you need to feel like you failed if you don't achieve it in the new shorter timeline, but I think it is so beneficial to challenge yourself in that way and to show yourself how much potential and how much strength you actually have in being able to do the things you assumed would take you 5 years and you actually did it in like 1. But even aside from that, this really links into the whole idea of start before you're ready. If you are thinking about, this is where I want to be in a year's time, this is the woman I want to become, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, I've always wanted to do this, I want to get straight A's in my grades at school, how can I action that today? Imagine if I studied for an extra hour today and that is already solidifying the result I want in a year's time when I get my final exams back. What if I just set up the website for my business today and already I'm on track to doing the thing that I've always dreamed of doing? Then it never really seems as far-fetched anymore, right? It's not this idea of maybe one day I could be this or hopefully this works out for me. You're already doing it, babe. It's already working for you. And everybody has the power to do that for themselves with the internet and with social media at our hands. And honestly, if we just take control of our time management and we're like, I'm just going to commit these last 30 minutes before I go to bed to just doing something that just sets me off on the path of doing what I've always wanted to do, you're winning. And if you're listening to what I'm saying right now and you've already been doing that, you've been studying every single day, you're already researching the business, you've got the idea, round of applause. Step number 5, I'm gonna need you to tap into your gifts and just recognize your worth and your potential right now, because you don't know how much you are going to influence everyone around you and the world before you just by tapping into what you already have. All of those ideas you possess, all of that talent that you have, that could be such a huge change maker for the industry that you're about to step into, for the peers that you have around you, for the generation below you. Every single one of us have a gift. And even if somebody has a similar gift to you in a similar space, maybe it's art, maybe it's music, everybody has been given that gift in a completely different way because we are all completely different from one another. Meaning our perspectives are different, our mindsets, the way we look at things, the way that we decide to work on something, we are so incredibly unique. No one can replicate what we do at the level we do it at. And doubting yourself when you possess such an amazing gift is such a waste. Because if you think about it, somebody else's destiny, and I'm just talking about a singular person here, the truth is it could be thousands of people, their destiny could be tied to the steps that you are taking today. Just in you, let's say, perfecting your studying methods, what if they work so incredibly well for you that you decide to share them online? Maybe you write an ebook, maybe you post one singular YouTube video once and you never go on YouTube again. And that is then influencing other people to be able to pass their exams, to be able to flourish in school. I'm not even like an academic person or an academic creator. I have one video on my channel about how I got a first class degree, and I have had hundreds of comments, and that video was posted years ago, about how it also helped other people get a first class degree. Because at that moment in time, when I was studying and when I was sick of the grades that I was getting and I knew I was living underneath my potential, I committed maybe a week to studying what does it really take to get high marks at university? What is the strategy I need to do? What is the strategy for writing essays? And then I just spoke about what I had learned in a video, and it's now helping hundreds, if not thousands of people all over the world to be able to do the exact same thing. That could be you too. Step number 6, I want you to think about the emotional result rather than fixating on the physical result. So much of the time when we're focusing on work, if you've got an interview, for example, if maybe you're just training for a marathon or something like that, we are so fixated on, I have to win, I have to be this fast, I have to be this successful, this is the outcome I want, this is the grade I want, the amount of money I want. It can be really overwhelming. It can stress us out. It can cause us to doubt ourselves because maybe sometimes we think this huge goal is not achievable, or maybe somebody else is going to get it. Let's take a step away from that for just a second. And instead, I want you to remember just the work and the preparation that you are putting in is going to give you so much emotional satisfaction every single step of the way, even if you're at step number 1 on day 1 of the journey. That in itself is worth it. And this was a mindset shift I implemented years ago because I was never a gym girly. I hated to work out, and I still am not, but I work out consistently now because I know that it's good for me. And the switch that really helped me be motivated to go to the gym so consistently was, even though I don't want to do it, I know how good it's going to make me feel after I do it. I don't go to the gym to look a certain way, to get a certain amount of reps in, to work out in a particular way because that is the right thing to do and the right physical result I might get. Do you see how demotivating that is? Do you see how much pressure I'd be putting on myself if I'm like, I need to be able to get a 6-pack in this amount of time, right? No, I am always fixated on, I'm going to walk out of the gym knowing I am going to be a fully functioning human being because I moved my body. It was just the act of going to the gym. It was starting that membership that is me doing the best favor for myself. So yes, I don't want to go. Yes, I find working out so boring, but what motivates me is how I'm going to feel when I walk out that day. And the same goes for when you do a work time block, when you go to the library and you have a study session, when you decide to start looking for jobs that are going to give you a promotion or set up your business. It's hard work. It can be demotivating because the thing that you want might seem so far away, but it's you putting in that work that helps you go to bed that night satisfied knowing you did everything you could. You worked towards your dreams today. You made progress. You didn't just sit around and wait and wonder if you could do it. You did do it. And that brings us to the end of this video. I wanted this to be quick, concise, easy to watch. I want you to be able to play this on any days that you feel slow without it taking too much time away from you actually pursuing your goals, working hard, doing what you need to do to level up into the person you very well deserve to be. You got this. I believe in you so much. I just need you to believe in yourself even more than you already do. Even if you've been on the journey, even if you've watched my confidence videos, even if you've really been working on it, I want you to 10 times that confidence today. Because why the hell not? Why the hell wouldn't you move through life knowing, of course, everything I touch is going to work out absolutely amazingly for me. Of course, every single time I have an idea, it is only a matter of time before it becomes my physical reality. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate you all so much. Be sure to check out my other videos. I actually have another motivation video, so check that out. It's right here. But yeah, I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you next week on Friday for a brand new video. Bye.